Lesson 4. The Hook Library. Hooks are not just subject lines. They are the first sentence of every piece of content. If your hook fails, your copy never gets read. This lesson depends on your core narrative from Lesson 3, because your hooks need a story to anchor to. Without that narrative, your hooks are just clever lines that don't connect. In this episode, we're going to write 20 hooks, 5 each of 4 types: pain, surprise, curiosity, and aspiration, and map them to specific channels and stages of the buyer journey. You're building a system, not just a list. Let's give you a hook for any situation. A hook is the first sentence that either grabs the buyer or loses them. It works by connecting to a specific pain, surprise, curiosity, or aspiration. Most founders write one hero headline and call it a day. But a high-performing business has a library of hooks, one for each channel, each stage of the buyer journey, and each segment of their avatar. This lesson uses your language matrix and core narrative to build a library of 20+ hooks. You'll learn the 4 hook types: pain, surprise, curiosity, and aspiration, and how to write them in your buyer's language. The output is a library that gives you a hook for any situation. Here are the key takeaways. A hook is not a headline. It is the first sentence that earns the second one. There are 4 hook types: pain, surprise, curiosity, and aspiration. Each channel and buyer stage requires a different hook type. Your hook library is a system, not a creative exercise. And when your hook works, the rest of the copy is just explanation. We'll use 2 frameworks. The first is the pain, surprise, curiosity, aspiration hook framework, a classification system for hooks. Pain hooks name the buyer's specific struggle. Surprise hooks break a pattern. Curiosity hooks create an information gap. Aspiration hooks paint the transformation. Each type is used for different contexts and stages. The second is the hook-to-copy bridge, a framework that ensures your hook connects seamlessly to the next sentence. The bridge is a sentence that transitions from the hook to the main copy. It ensures the reader stays engaged after the hook. Most founders spend 90% of their copywriting time on the body copy and 10% on the hook. That is backwards. If the hook does not work, the body never gets read. This lesson flips that ratio. You'll use your language matrix to write hooks that work across every channel. The goal is not a single clever line. It is a library of 20 hooks that you can pull from for any situation. A cold email, a Facebook ad, a LinkedIn post, a sales page opening, all need a hook, and each one serves a different purpose. This lesson gives you the system to build them. The output for this lesson is your hook library. It will be used in lessons 5 through 10 across every asset you build. Without it, you are writing from scratch every time. Read the entire lesson. The hook types are not arbitrary. They map to specific psychological states. Back in Lesson 3, you wrote your core narrative. Now we're going to use that story to build your hook library. Pause and grab your workbook. Step 1. Write 5 pain hooks. Use your language matrix to name the buyer's pain in a sentence that makes them feel seen. Write them as statements, not questions. For example, you are spending money on ads but have no idea who you are speaking to. Or, your customer avatar sits in a document while you write generic copy. Step 2. Write 5 surprise hooks. Break a pattern your buyer expects. State a counterintuitive truth or a pattern interrupt. For example, the fastest way to write better copy is to stop writing entirely. Or, your customer's language is more valuable than your marketing degree. Step 3. Write 5 curiosity hooks. Create an information gap. Name a question or a knowledge gap your buyer has. For example, what do 90% of high-converting landing pages have in common? Or, why do most positioning statements fail to land in under 3 seconds? Step 4. Write 5 aspiration hooks. Paint the transformation your buyer wants. Use the language from your transformation column. For example, imagine knowing exactly what to say to every customer every time. Or stop guessing. Start converting. Take your time with each one. You're building a system, not just a list. Your to-do list for Lesson 4. Write 5 pain hooks using language from your matrix, 45 minutes. Write 5 surprise hooks, 30 minutes. Write 5 curiosity hooks, 30 minutes. Write 5 aspiration hooks, 30 minutes. And map each hook to a specific channel: email, ad, landing page, social, another 30 minutes. These tasks produce your hook library. This library is used across every subsequent lesson: sales pages, emails, ads, SEO, and brand voice. If you skip this, every asset will start from zero. Let's look at how this played out for Ryan Levesque's Ask method. His team found that most quiz funnels failed because the opening hook was too generic. They would ask, "What is your biggest challenge?" But no one felt compelled to answer. They switched to hooks that named the specific pain before the quiz began. The hook, "Tired of marketing to everyone," had a 43% higher engagement rate. Quiz completion increased by 28%, and lead quality improved by 34%. That's the power of a specific, pain-based hook. Now apply that to your own funnel. Pause and answer these. Where in your current funnel is your opening hook too generic? Name the specific asset and sentence. Then, replace that generic hook with a pain hook from your library. Test it for 1 week and compare engagement. Finally, if your hook engagement improved by 43%, what metric would move first in your business? How would that change your week? Here are the pitfalls to avoid. The most common way to surface complete this lesson is to write generic hooks that could apply to any business. Your hook must be specific to your avatar's language. Real completion is when you have 20 hooks and you can look at any channel and instantly pick the right one. This library is your shortcut. If you skip it, you will waste hours on every ad, email, and landing page. Avoid the trap of writing hooks that are clever but do not connect. A hook that does not make the buyer feel seen is just noise. The difference between someone with a hook library and someone without is that the first person can write a high-converting ad in 15 minutes. The second person takes 3 hours and it still fails. Open your workbook to the Lesson 4 worksheet, the hook library. Pause here. In the pain hooks section, write 5 pain hooks. Each must use a specific phrase from your language matrix and make the buyer feel seen. In the surprise hooks section, write 5 surprise hooks that break a pattern and state a counterintuitive truth. In the curiosity hooks section, write 5 curiosity hooks that create an information gap. Name a question or gap. In the aspiration hooks section, write 5 aspiration hooks that paint the transformation. Use the transformation column of your matrix. This hook library is your input for every subsequent asset. If you do not have 20 hooks, Lesson 5 will be slower. Use the progress tracker. Check pain hooks written when 5 specific pain hooks are documented. Check surprise hooks written when 5 specific surprise hooks are documented. Check curiosity hooks written when 5 specific curiosity hooks are documented. And check aspiration hooks written when 5 specific aspiration hooks are documented. Once all are checked, you're ready for Lesson 5. And check aspiration hooks written once they're on paper. Use the calculator to measure your library readiness. Count your total hooks. The benchmark is 20 or more. Count the hook types covered. You're aiming for 4 out of 4, with at least 5 in each. And count how many hooks you've mapped to a channel. Aim for at least 10. If you're below any benchmark, spend another hour writing. A full library is required for the following lessons. Here's your exercise. Pick 3 hooks from your library. For each one, draft a 3-sentence email sequence. Hook, bridge, offer. Send them to 3 different customer segments or test them in a small ad spend. Measure the click-through rate. The hook with the highest CTR is your anchor hook for Lesson 5. Pause and do this now. Reflect on this. Which hook type do you find most uncomfortable to write? Why? Is it because it requires vulnerability, truth-telling, or pattern breaking? Write one hook of that type anyway. For deeper research, read Joanna Weeb's work on copywriting hooks or watch a conference talk on the 4 hook types. Then analyze 10 high-performing cold emails from a swipe file. Classify each hook type. Your action for this week. Replace the hook on your highest traffic landing page with one from your library. Track the bounce rate for 1 week. If it improves, your library works. Next time, we take your hook library and core narrative and build a sales page that converts.